When planning a vacation or looking for a country to retire, or even looking for a country where you can invest your money and probably in the future call it your second home, and also looking for a stable country and with beautiful nature and wildlife, definitely Costa Rica is an option. But before you come to this country, before you make the move or the permanent move, or you before you come for vacation to Costa Rica, there are some things that you need to know before that. And I'm going to share that with you in this video. So if you're considering any of these things, coming to Costa Rica soon and all that, this video is for you. Okay, so Costa Rica is full of nature, full of wildlife. So that's also the home of a lot of animals, insects, and many things that maybe you haven't seen in your life. So when coming to Costa Rica, have that in mind. You know, watch out, because you're gonna be able to experience those things firsthand. Okay, so watch out with the monkeys, iguanas, macaques, spiders, a lot of spiders, also a lot of bugs, different type of bugs, also scorpions. Those are some of the most common things in Costa Rica that you can basically see everywhere. So even when you go to bed, check it out before you go to sleep, because don't be impressed, or don't jump out of the window from your place that you're going to be staying in, because probably, and it has happened to us, don't find yourself sleeping with a scorpion. So be careful, watch out with the animals, know that you're coming to the tropics and you're coming to this country that is full of nature and different types of animals. Okay, so Costa Rican currency is colon, all right? So make sure when you come to Costa Rica, try to exchange some money at the airport. It's gonna be safer, it's gonna be maybe a little better exchange rate. And if you don't have time for that, make sure you bring some small dollar bills. Let's say you can pay with 5, 20s, 10s. Don't bring 50s, 100s, because then you're gonna have a hard time, paying with that money. Also, the best places where you're going to exchange money at the best rate is the local national banks. The first one is Banco Nacional de Costa Rica. The second one is Banco de Costa Rica. They are pretty similar names, but those are the best ones. Okay, so watch out, because if you pay with dollars everywhere you go, the exchange is going to be very, very low, comparing with the normal exchange that you're going to see officially at the banks at that time. So make sure you do that, you take your time, go and exchange some money in any of these banks. Okay, obviously it's safe. Don't try to go to other locations. Sometimes when you go to San Jose downtown or downtown, any of the towns here in cities here in Costa Rica, they're gonna try to take you to different private exchange offices. Sometimes it's not as safe, so watch out and make sure you do it the best way possible. Okay, now let's talk about how you're gonna be traveling from one place to other in Costa Rica. If you are planning to go to different locations, beach locations and all that, if you're planning to rent a car, for sure, try to rent a 4-wheel drive car, a 4x4 4-wheel drive, so you can go to any place in Costa Rica with no problem. Many of the roads in Costa Rica are gravel road, no paved roads. It's very, very difficult in some areas. And obviously, to get to very nice beach spots, beautiful, beautiful surfing spots, you're gonna have to pass through all this. So better if you're planning already to rent a car, try to rent one of these bigger cars so you don't have any problems, any issues traveling anywhere in Costa Rica. There are some other areas that obviously are paved and all that, the cities and all that, and most famous beach locations. But you're gonna find that if you decide to go to one place that maybe was not planned or something, and you're gonna have a hard time going to those areas if you're not prepared with the car. So make sure you rent a good car to go and travel any place you want in Costa Rica. Okay, now we're going to the fourth point I wanted to share with you. Even though Costa Rica is safer than any other country around in the region, obviously there is crime here in Costa Rica. So watch out with your stuff, take care of your belongings, watch out with your cameras, computers, all digital equipment. Make sure, take care, be careful with that, and just don't leave it in the car. Most thieves in Costa Rica, for some reason, they mostly break in the cars and take your stuff. So be careful your stuff. Try to carry your stuff wherever you go, and be careful with that. All right. In Costa Rica, normally you don't see that really bad crime. Obviously, there is really bad crime, but for tourists, it's not a common thing. The most common robbery is those things. They try to get your camera and things like that. If you leave it leave the things on a table in a restaurant or things like that. So just be careful and watch out, and be careful with your stuff. All right. Okay, so you're coming to Costa Rica. Remember, Costa Rica is rich in the forest, wildlife, and all that. So if you're planning to go to the forest, you're planning to go to the beach, and you're planning just to travel around Costa Rica in different locations, just be prepared and bring whatever you need, because there is a lot of mosquitoes, a lot of different kinds, and there is a lot of bugs of all different kinds. So you have to just be prepared, bring the clothes you need, and bring whatever you're gonna need so you are having a good time in Costa Rica. So you have a good time in Costa Rica, and don't see that as a big issue. Okay. So if you prepare, you're gonna enjoy more Costa Rica and your trip here and your vacation in Costa Rica. So just know and have in your mind that you're not coming to a country where there are huge cities and things like that. So most of the places you're gonna be going, beach locations and things like that, are remote. All right. So it's not too much. There's not too much developed, and it's just like that. A lot of forest and things like that all over the place, mountains and all those things. So just be prepared for all those things. Okay, so Costa Rica doesn't have an army. For many years, there is no army in Costa Rica. There is police, but the police doesn't cover the entire territory well. So don't expect to be protected by the police everywhere you go. Actually, some of the beach locations have very or none police service. I mean, there is no police taking care of the people or checking what's going on here or there. Some places is no police. Some places you have to be very careful, about what you're doing and who you're hanging out with and things like that. Just be careful and know that most of the police force is located in the bigger cities, San Jose and most famous beach locations or towns. Okay, so depending on where you're going, but know that, I mean, the police force in Costa Rica is not the best. They don't have a lot of people, and so they have to cover the most populated locations. Know that. Now I want to tell you about medical care in Costa Rica. In Costa Rica, well, Costa Rica is famous for medical surgeries, aesthetic surgeries, dental care, and many other things. However, if you're planning to spend a long time in Costa Rica or live here permanently, you have to know that the medical care service is concentrated in the bigger cities. It's concentrated in the bigger towns, and basically in San Jose, downtown Alajuela, or Liberia, or those big cities in Costa Rica. If you're planning to live by the beach, closer to a volcano, and locations like that, you have to know that you're gonna be far from medical care. So if you have any diseases or you have any special situation, consider that before you come or make the move to stay here permanently and things like that. So you have to know that because it's very important for some people, and actually we get a lot of calls, but people planning to come to live in Costa Rica, invest in Costa Rica, and the first thing they think is that they're gonna be living by the beach. But then the second thing they say, but I wanna be closer to the hospitals. And well, there are just a few areas where you can be closer to good medical care. So if that's one condition for you, so investigate first very well before you make the move, before you invest, before you do anything in Costa Rica. Obviously, if you're coming for vacation, you have to also know that if there is a special emergency while you're surfing in a remote area or anything like that, you have to know that the medical care is not going to be close. Okay, obviously there are helicopters and ambulances and all those things, but it's going to take much more time. All right, normally depending on where you are, it could be as remote as 4 hours, 5 hours away from medical care. It depends. Could be 1 hour and a half or things like that, but you have to know that in Costa Rica we have that situation. However, the doctors and medical care in San Jose and these other locations are very good and are not as expensive as in the United States, North America, Canada, and Europe. So a lot of people come here for different treatments and things like that. Okay, so a lot of tourists come to Costa Rica because Costa Rica is famous for the surfing spots. So I'm gonna share some names. So if you're planning to come to Costa Rica for surfing, then you're gonna have those names in your mind. Okay, the first one I'm gonna share with you is, for example, Hermosa, Tamarindo, Santa Teresa, and Dominica Beach, among others on the Pacific side. Also, on the Caribbean side, the Caribbean is different than the Pacific side in Costa Rica. The Pacific side is much more developed, and the Caribbean side is farther out from San Jose, the capital city. But also the beach there is beautiful. It's amazing. It's just different. And also there are some very nice surfing spots in that area. Those ones are also Uvita, another one that is called also Dominical, Matapalo, and among others. But if you plan to come to Costa Rica for surfing, for sure, you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna have an awesome and great time. There are tournaments, there are so many things, worldwide famous tournaments and all that. So enjoy your stay if you're coming to Costa Rica for surfing. Okay, we're going to the 9th point. I wanted to share that you have to know that when coming to Costa Rica, you're not gonna find a cheap country. A lot of people from different parts of the world, they come to Latin America and the countries around because they're cheap. but it's not the case in Costa Rica. Costa Rica is not cheap. Actually, you're gonna probably find some things or some services and things more expensive than your homeland, North America, or even Europe. So it's not a cheap country. However, Costa Rica offers unique luxury real estate, unique real estate in all the capacity, unique residential communities, unique weather in different locations. Even, you know, a few famous people have acquired properties in Costa Rica. We can name it Mel Gibson. They have a huge property here. He has a big and nice, beautiful property here. And also Tom Brady, the quarterback. I mean, he's got a nice property here in a very nice location here in Costa Rica. But Costa Rica is not cheap, so you have to know that before you come here. All right. As I said before, there are a lot of other very nice things about Costa Rica. The food is also great in Costa Rica. All right, so you can come and enjoy, but you have to know that Costa Rica, it's similar to like going to Europe or going even to New York, LA, or any other of those big cities. All right. All right, so we're almost about to finish. So my last point, number 10, is actually talking about the weather. Costa Rica in some areas is famous because it's got some of the best weathers in the entire world. I can name Atenas, Grecia, and I can name the Arenal volcano, Arenal area, that is called Arenal area. Those areas, they boast the best weather, some of the best weathers in the entire world. Those areas are also famous for the longevity of its people, and many documentaries have been developed in these areas because of that. Those areas are full of mountains and you know, different type of plants, trees, amazing views of the city and things like that. But yeah, it's true. I've been in those areas and the weather, it's just phenomenal. It's great. So that's another thing. That's another thing why you should come to Costa Rica. Costa Rica offers that not many countries can offer it around the world. So what are you waiting for? Come to Costa Rica, enjoy it, consider all these points that I have already shared with you. You know much more about Costa Rica before you come to Costa Rica, before you come for vacation, invest money here and all that. By the way, the real estate is great in Costa Rica. I have seen great constructions here in Costa Rica. You know, amazing real estate in different locations here in Costa Rica. Unique locations and unique residential neighborhoods have been built in all Costa Rica, immersed in the nature and all those things. Very close to the beach, overlooking the amazing ocean. And the weather in general is great in Costa Rica. We have a lot of rain for around 7 months, but even in those times, it's nice weather in different times of the day. So it's great. I mean, come to Costa Rica, enjoy it, and just be careful driving around, traveling around, and all those things. All right. Alright guys, alright people, we're finishing right now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Now, before you come to Costa Rica, you know much more things and you're prepared before you come to this amazing country. I hope I can see you soon. I hope you really enjoyed the video and it was useful for you. Consider please subscribing to our channel. Consider following us in our social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, everything. And if you have any questions, just don't hesitate to send me an email, a message, or just put the comments down there. I'm going to try to answer as much as possible. And also, just share the video. If you know anybody that is coming or planning to come to Costa Rica, share the video. We're going to also share right here in the screen. We're going to share some other videos if you want to know more about Costa Rica, the real estate market, and any other topic about Costa Rica. And by the way, if you want me to create a video about a specific topic, just don't hesitate and put it in the comments. Have a great one, and I hope I can see you soon.